So today I want to talk about shadow work and how we can do shadow work and how we know which parts of us is shadow, and just do a little talk about it really. I've had someone talk to me at Circle this week about wanting to do some shadow work. So basically how I interpret shadow is it's parts of us that have been suppressed. I think a lot of stigma around shadow work is that it's negative and it's all the nasty parts of us and the dark parts of us. But in fact, it can also be the opposite. It can be the creative parts of us. Some of us might have been told we can't sing or we can't draw or things like that. And then what we do, we push them parts away. We push them parts into the shadow and we become disconnected with them. And then what happens is we project them onto other people. So how this is done, so for a negative instance, so say someone triggers you, someone really rubs you up the wrong way. For me, recently, it was loneliness. I saw somebody else's loneliness, and what it did, it made me feel frustrated and angry and sad, and all these big emotions come up around this person being lonely. And then I had a conversation with this person and I become really emotional and was begging this person to do these things that will stop this person being lonely. I've come away from the conversation and done a bit of journaling, slept on it, and had a wicked dream. And then in the morning, what happened is I realised them massive big emotions that I had towards this person and their loneliness, it wasn't about their loneliness, it was my loneliness. What that done, knowing that person was lonely, it triggered my loneliness in me and my feelings of being isolated and having no one. So I did speak to the person again, and I just explained that yes, them being lonely does make me feel sad, and I do feel emotion towards that, but the severity of the emotion that come up the day before was mine, and I needed to own that. And then it got me thinking about how much we project on our children. I project our shadows on our children, and that's for another video, I think, because I think we do project. I personally have projected onto my children a lot, and it's only this week that I've actually really been able to open my eyes to that. So I went a bit off topic there, sorry, but so shadow work is about all them parts we compress. So when someone rubs you up the wrong way, so say if you look at someone and be like, oh, they're so judgmental. That's you judging them in a way. Plus also that's because a part of you is judgmental and you're not willing to see that yet. So the next time someone really irritates you and really rubs you up the wrong way, I want you to just have an honest conversation with yourself. Whether you're journaling or you're doing it internally or however you're doing it, or if you're in therapy, speak to your therapist about it and just find out why. Like where in you do you behave like that? Because there will be a part of you that behaves like that. You can't see something in someone unless that you own it yourself. So it's really interesting work. And then the positive side of it, if you're praising someone for how beautiful are they, how creative they are, how talented they are in a certain area, you need to tap into that area yourself because it's in there. We've just pressed it down and then we think that we haven't got it. So that is my interpretation of shadow work. It is ongoing. It's not something that you can open up, close and then be done with it. For me, it's a consistent cycle. I do one bit of shadow work, close that book, then another bit will show up. So it is, and it's a constant self-development process. It's constantly, if you're striving to be a better person, shadow work is just, it will show itself up to you. And the more you become aware, the smaller the shadow becomes, or the more accepting you are of the shadow, so the less it pulls you into the darkness. So this recent one that I had about the loneliness, I slipped into the loneliness, but luckily it was only for a few days. Previously, like last year, that would have sucked me in for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. But because I'm becoming more aware of it and working more with the shadow and being more friendly with the shadow, it gets shorter. The time in that shadow gets shorter because you nurture it and you love it and you let it know it's okay to feel that way. And to be seen. Like, a lot of us live in the shadows because in our shadows it's the scared to be seen part. So they're too confident, they're too flirtatious, or they're too sexual, or we have that in us, but we push it to the side because we are scared to be seen. That person isn't scared to be seen, and fucking great for them. So yeah, that is my interpretation of shadow work. As you can see, I'm sat in a beautiful spot this morning, just soaking up the sunshine and getting myself nice and calm before yoga. Have a lovely day. Mwah.